Phase 3 of government's BERT program gets underway in April. The British Prime Minister facing a no-confidence motion after a crushing Brexit defeat. And coming up in sports, Shamar Brooks gets a Windies test call-up.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Phase 3 of the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation, or BERT plan, will get underway come April 1st. The update was provided by Minister of Labour and Social Partnership Relations, Colin Jordan. The combined effect of phases 1 to 3 is expected to reduce expenditure and raise revenues.
That is to last for 18 months, and there are certain elements in that program that others will speak to from time to time in this honorable chamber. But I just want to say to all of us and to all Barbadians, let us stay the course. Let us continue the journey. Let us build on the positive first steps.
Well, Mr. Jordan stressed recent upgrades by credit rating agencies signal that Barbados is on the right track.
I think that needs to be made very clear. Barbados is not out of the woods. I would want to comfort the leader of the opposition, the honourable member for St. Michael West, that we will get out of the woods. He, I think, maybe does not think so, but I would want to say to him that he should exercise a measure of faith.
Well, the Labour Minister was speaking during the first session of Parliament since the Christmas break. Our Lisa Broom joins us live now with a comprehensive report of what was debated today. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Shane. Thank you very much. And as you said, this was indeed the first sitting since the Christmas break. And the Employment Rights Bill, which has been earmarked for amendment, came up first. Now, Minister Jordan led off that debate, and he warned that government will not take lightly any breaches to the Employment Rights Act.
There are construction companies in Barbados that are treating employees as self-employed, are refusing to pay national insurance for them. Because they're not taking that cost, they are able to underbid the decent companies that treat their employees as employees and pay national insurance on their behalf.
Well, opposition leader Bishop Joseph Atherley is again making it clear that he's not happy with his office and other MPs being given little to no time to review critical pieces of legislation before they're debated.
It's a disrespect to the staff of Parliament, the hard-working staff of Parliament, and perhaps above all else, it's a disrespect to the Barbados public that the business of this chamber is so conducted. This is not something that is incidental. It is not a singular happening or instance. It is now a practice which is fast becoming a culture. And I do not know that the government would want to have this kind of dynamic of organizational, operational culture setting around their doings.
And St. Philip North MP Dr. Sonia Brown called for childcare facilities at workplaces across the island. She's also the chairman of committees, and she wants the 12 weeks granted for maternity leave relooked.
Everybody's not as privileged as I was to be able to walk to work with a 6-week-old baby to work. NAS sometimes really and truly does not supply the funding that you would enjoy if you were at work, so sometimes you have to go back into work early. We need to look at that. Some people are just not ready at 3 months postnatal to enter back into a full-time work day. This is where things like flexi time might become handy.
Well, during his contribution, Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson took issue with the Employment Rights Tribunal. That body, he says, has a less than admirable history.
The first and main case that was heard before those tribunals would have been a case involving the termination of employment of 200-odd, I think about 180-odd National Conservation Commission employees. I believe probably about 100 of them might have taken the commission before the tribunal. That was a clear case of unfair dismissal. It didn't have to go before any tribunal for that to be known.
Well, Shane, the MPs also discussed the Public Finance Management Bill 2019. That piece of legislation is intended to usher in a new era of accountability for public sector governance, particularly as it relates to spending. Attorney General Dale Marshall says under the legislation, public officials, including ministers who cause government financial loss or waste public funds, well, they could be held personally liable.
I wish that was the law from 2008 up until 2018. It wasn't, and we can't make it retroactive. But if the concept of personal liability was enshrined in a statute, sir, some of the things that were done by the last administration, they would not have dared to do because the man at the helm, the minister, would have been personally liable to make government finances right.
Well, Shane, up until when we started the news, the MPs were still on their feet, and we will continue to follow what's happening, and we'll keep you and our viewers updated. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. A full report on Parliament today. Well, listen to this story now. A man was shot multiple times and died while being transported to hospital this morning. He's the third young man to die in such as a result of gunshot wounds within a week in Barbados. According to reports, he was discovered at his house in Barbary Hill, St. Michael, sometime around 9 after several gunshots were heard. Acting Public Relations Officer, Acting Station Sergeant Michael Blackman, told us what happened when police responded to reports of those gunshots being fired in the area.
On arrival, police learned that Darrell Harris, 42 years, of Barbary's Gardens, received gunshot wounds to his body. He was transported to the QEH by private motor car. Anyone who has any information that can assist the police with their investigations are asked to contact Black Rock Police Station at 417-7500, Police Emergency at 211, the Police Hotline at 429-8787, or any police station.
Teams from the Barbados Water Authority have spent the past 72 hours working to resolve a number of technical issues. Electrical problems at the Waterford pumping station yesterday left customers in parts of St. Thomas, St. James and St. George with low water pressure. The BWA's marketing officer Yvette Harris-Griffith says these problems have since been resolved, but she has cautioned it could take a few hours for the system to recover. Ms. Harris-Griffith also provided an update on work to repair a failed pump at the Ashton Hall pumping station, which left some customers in St. Lucie and St. Peter with either low water pressure or dry taps.
Well, the replacement of the pump is expected to be completed today. However, similar to what would have happened with the Waterford pumping station is it will take some time for recovery of the water through the pipe to these affected areas. Hopefully overnight they will see those levels rise because of course at night we use less water than we do during the day. So once that pump has been replaced, and that, as I said, should be completed today by end of work, then it's just a matter of recovery of the system. So we will monitor and of course update our customers via all media and our Facebook page of what is happening.
Ms. Harris-Griffith is also reminding Barbadians they should always have some water stored for immediate uses.
This is January. As you well know, we are going to be into what is termed the dry season. And that means that persons need to be cognizant of the fact that as things happen with our mains, with our pumps and so on, as well as at this time of year, it is helpful to just keep some water stored to assist you for a few hours should there be a problem.
The 2 new trucks brought into the island to aid with the garbage rolls are being prepared for the road. The trucks arrived earlier this month, and Public Relations Officer with the Sanitation Service Authority, Carl Podmore, says the SSA welcomes the delivery, saying they will complement the fleet. Mr. Podmore says the SSA has been able to address issues with collection across the island, and he provided the update on CBC TV8's Morning Barbados.
We would have had some hemorrhaging in the middle of the island. When I said middle, that St. Thomas, St. George corridor would have had, over the December-January period, some setbacks. We have regularized that now. Sean Phillips, the operations manager, and his team, working around the clock to make sure that those areas that went beyond the 2 weeks, that we're bringing them back to on a sense of normalcy. The north of the island, we were able to get that regularized as well. To the east and east-southeast of the island, that is pretty stable. The St. Michael districts, the challenge we were having with those is some of those areas are small, and so some vehicles were blocking the natural flow of our trucks getting in.
As a young self-taught filmmaker prepares to release the first Barbadian-produced sci-fi movie, he is calling for greater support to be given to others in the industry. Stockton Miller's plea came as he announced The Land We Call Home will be available for public viewing on January 21st. Here's Rianne Phillips.
A year ago, Barbadians were on edge when the video of a mysterious creature went viral on social media. Since then, we've received at least 2 more reports of mysterious creatures being spotted right here in Six-Mile St. Peter. Those sightings in that St. Peter community are from scenes in the new movie The Land We Call Home by Stockton Miller.
Barbados gets a roller coaster ride. Is a very interesting film, very new to Barbados, very unique, and it's rated PG, so even children can watch it. It's not violent or anything, so it's like watching an adventure. It's just something new for Barbados. In the beginning of this film, I asked for help and I didn't receive help, but I still end up finishing the film anyways with the little bit I have. So I also proud of that too.
His main support, however, came from friends and neighbors who offered their talents to bring the movie from conception to production.
For me, my experience was nothing less of amazing. You understand? I give glory to God for the opportunity to even be a part of this project, because as a budding actor coming out of the Caribbean, I assume I would only get opportunities if I go overseas. So when Stockton approached me with the idea, I was like, yes.
I'm thankful to Stockton for giving me the opportunity to actually bring a life dream of mine to reality. Because from the time I was a teenager, I always wanted to act in movies, but there was no Stockton Miller around. So I'm happy that Stockton has given me this opportunity, and in such a fabulous, very exciting movie.
People who love sci-fi here in Barbados, they will definitely love this movie. It is all local. There's no outside help. Everything that you see is locally done. Every scene that we're in is all local.
Although I don't really play a big significant role in the film, from the time I got the offer, I jump at it just because it's Stockton. I think the film is unique. I feel like the same as everybody else feels, is one of a kind, and I feel like this is something that Bajans should jump on.
I would be the narrator for The Land We Call Home, but also, like Stockton said, I'm one that gives a lot of ideas and a lot of inspiration to push things further, because Stockton doesn't see his own potential.
His mother, Michelle Miller, is also proud of her son's achievements.
Stockton is not a smoker. Stockton don't drink alcohol. Stockton used to go to church, because Stockton used to come and like put the mock blood and thing on them, and they was real proud.
The Land We Call Home will be showing at Lime Grove Cinemas from January 21st, 2019. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.